Kia ora, good afternoon and welcome to this Newshub Breaking Special. After 20 days of tough negotiations, a coalition deal has been reached to form New Zealand's next government. National Act and New Zealand First have agreed to the terms of a deal, but it now needs to be formally ticked off by the parties' respective boards. We're going to go live now to our political editor, Jenna Lynch, who is standing by at Parliament. It's been a long 20 days for you, Jenna. What do we know about this deal?
Absolutely nothing at this stage, Sam. They're keeping everything under wraps. The only thing that they have told us is, as you said, that the negotiations have wrapped and those deals have now gone off to the party boards to sign off. Now, subject to agreement by those boards, there will be a signing ceremony for the deals held here at Parliament tomorrow. I spoke to David Seymour earlier and he said the ACT Party board had already been satisfied with the deal that he had shown them up until this point. So that is one party ticked off. National and New Zealand First still need to get this through their respective boards, and then we are all go. We have a government finally.
Yes, 40 days on since the election day itself. So is that signing off of the boards, is it just a formality or could there be some sticking points in there?
In some cases, it will be just a formality. I understand the National Party Board has been kept pretty well abreast of the negotiations as they have developed. So in that case, it may be a case of rubber stamping it. As I said before, the ACT Party's board has already satisfied what they need to do under their constitution. So they're all sorted. New Zealand First is a little bit less clear as to whether or not their board might have some disagreements with what is in those agreements. Now, obviously, that final sticking point came down to ministerial roles. That appears to have been sorted over the course of the day. Christopher Luxon showed up this morning at Parliament. It was a reasonably cloudy day. He said it was glorious. It looked like it was all go for today. They were hoping to actually have an announcement and some kind of agreement revelation today, but they haven't been able to get their ducks in a row to get that done. So as I said, they're going to do that formal part of that tomorrow, though Christopher Luxon is due to talk to media at about 4:45 this afternoon to give a quick update on where things go from here.
OK, we'll certainly be across that on newshub.co.nz. We know Winston Peters was the last of the trio to land in Wellington to make it to the capital. He arrived this afternoon. What was his demeanour like? Did he have much to say?
It's always a bit of a gamble of what Winston Peters you're going to get when he gets off a plane. He didn't want to talk to the waiting journalists at Auckland Airport as he left. He didn't want to talk to the waiting journalists at Wellington Airport when he landed. He didn't want to talk to the waiting journalists at the Treasury building when he showed up, but he did come out a short time later and he actually revealed that he was finished negotiating. He wouldn't say whether a deal had been met, but he said he was finished negotiating with National. So Winston Peters, the other obviously question for him there has been whether or not he or David Seymour have managed to secure that Deputy Prime Minister's role. We've just caught up with David Seymour as he is exiting the building. I'm hearing from the team outside. He said he is very happy. We asked him whether he was the Deputy Prime Minister and he said not at the moment, but I may be in future. So read into that what you will.
Well, it sounds like he's giving a little bit away there. He has been happy for most of the day. Jenna, just very quickly, 20 days of negotiations, almost 6 weeks since the election. These talks have not been easy, have they?
They've certainly not been easy. They've moved from Wellington to Auckland to Wellington to Auckland, and that is just the logistics of the talks. But behind closed doors, these three parties have been going through line by line of each of their party manifestos and deciding what is in and what is out. They have obviously learnt from the 2017 to 2020 term that everything that you want to get done has to be in an agreement signed, sealed by Winston Peters if you want to have have a shot at getting through a government. You can't start progressing stuff that doesn't exist in a coalition deal. So they've been locked up behind closed doors, nutting out policy for a very long time. Then they moved on to this tricky negotiation of how to actually work in a three-way coalition. That has not been done in New Zealand before. That was what they were working towards. We will obviously find out tomorrow what that looks like, but how they're able to disagree with each other in public is actually a really important part of how this government is going to work and last the distance. And then finally, getting to those portfolios. Everyone says they're not about the baubles until the baubles are up for offer and you have to negotiate for them. They expected that process to be wrapped up pretty quickly. That's the thing that has dragged this out an extra day into tomorrow. But they have finally come to agreement among the three parties. All we need is those boards to get ticking.
Thank you so much. That's our political editor, Jenna Lynch, live from Parliament there with that analysis. And that is it for this breaking news special. Newshub.co.nz will have the latest through the afternoon, and Simon Shepherd and I will be back at 6 o'clock with a full wrap of the day's developments. I'm Samantha Hayes. Good afternoon.